well, you passed. Like, that was what it is. It was always like, well, you passed, you don't have to retake it, you didn't fail. And I was like, that's really like the level that we're on. Like, I wish you would expect more from me. When someone says like, you can't do that, I'm just like, watch me. I don't need you to tell me I can do it anymore, even though it would have been helpful when I was growing up to have somebody be like, no, you can. But it's like now, like, I've kind of built it myself. I want to do it just because you told me I can't do it.
Hey guys, it's Vanessa here, and welcome back to another episode of Math Therapy. Today's episode is actually a follow-up to last week's conversation, which, to be perfectly honest, I'm shocked that I've not been canceled for. Like, I'm actually low-key serious. If you haven't heard it yet, it was completely unhinged, and although I was scared to publish it, I'm so glad that I did. It was actually a conversation with Kat and Nat, two momfluencers who have extremely strong opinions about math education and are not afraid to share them. Since the episode came out, the response has been fascinating. I could see how much their stresses resonated with so many of you, which I actually didn't expect. And if any of you made it to the end of that roller coaster, you already know that this week we're bringing you an interview with Nat's daughter, Taylor, who's currently in grade 11 and has had her own rocky relationship with math. I actually had the privilege of tutoring her, so I'm so excited to have her on the pod. This is a really special pair of episodes for me because on this podcast, I'm usually chatting with math educators and experts about how we can help students and families. But in these two conversations, I got to actually hear the unfiltered realities of what they're going through, not just with math class, but their entire lives. Taylor is such an inspiration for all of us. Today, she tells us exactly how she took matters into her own hands and turned around her relationship with math. We discuss the little things that teachers can do to inspire massive confidence shifts in their students, like literally getting down to their level instead of standing over them in class, or dropping all the jargon and talking to kids like they're real people. Most of all, Taylor describes the most important thing an adult can do to support a student's learning: tell them they believe in them. I know this conversation will resonate with so many of you, teachers, parents, and students. So please share this episode with someone you think needs to hear it. Maybe it's your own kid, your friend, your parent, or maybe your entire classroom. Okay, here's my conversation with the one and only Taylor Telfer-Thompson. You're the first student we've ever had on the podcast.
I'm so excited.
I'm so excited too. I feel like your story of like perseverance and like struggle is so inspiring because I know that math is something you've always historically struggled with, and you've had this very interesting approach where you've like really had this determination to not just like throw it to the curb. Most of my listeners actually are teachers, and I feel like we all want to know like how, why, like what's your story? Like, how do we help students who are struggling? So that's like a bunch of stuff I want to talk to you about. And I think the first thing I want to ask is just like, what's your story? Like, what has math felt like for you growing up and like up till now?
Math has just been like one of those subjects where it's like everyone dreads going to math class. It's like, oh, like we're going to math now, and like nobody wants to go, and nobody. It's just like it seems like we all are confused at some point. No one's just like, I get it. Yeah. And over the years, it was always like I was never great at math, and my teachers kind of just were like accepted it, and they were like, okay. Like, she's not going to be great at math. That's fine. We're just going to, like, accept that, and we're just going to, like, pass it. Like, just get through it. It was never, like, try to be really good at it. It was just, like, get a 50.
Yeah.
And try and just move past. Like, you don't have to think too much about it. Just bare minimum with it.
And was it always like that from as long as you can?
Yes.
Really?
Yeah. There was never a teacher that was like, no, like, you can do it. It was always just like, no.
It was just like, no. And so how did that make you feel? Like, was there ever a time where you were like, okay, I guess like, fuck it then? Or like, what happened for you?
Up until like grade 11. So all the way until grade 10, it was just like, I was just like, yeah, like, it's fine. I'm just never going to be good at math. Like, I was like, yeah, I'm just not good at math. I was like, whatever. Like, I'm good at other things, but I guess math was just like not my thing. I don't need to do that good in it. Like, I never wanted to do anything with it, but I had to take it. Mm-hmm. But then up until grade 11, it's almost like I matured, and I kind of just like, I moved schools. I was caring less about what my teachers had to say. And it was more like, I don't know, like, I don't really just want to pass it. May as well see if like other people can do it. Why can't I? Like, it was that. It was like, if they can do it, Why can't I do it?
Oh my, okay, but I feel
Yeah.
like you've hit on something like so deep because I distinctly remember it was the first time I met you and it was for your exam and you came in and you had like all your notes, all your things. You weren't a student who like didn't try. It wasn't giving like, oh, I'm just trying to pass. Like you were not giving
Yeah.
that energy to me.
Yeah.
You were like, or were you? Were you like, yeah, I'm trying this hard because I need to pass?
I think it was like right before exams or like right before tests, like day before. I was like, I'm gonna do it. Like now is gonna be my time. I'm gonna do it now. And I was like, and my mom's like, well, you're not like studying. Like you're not like trying hard enough. It was like in my head, I thought I was trying, but I wasn't actually putting anything down. It was like a battle in my head. It's like you can do it, you can't do it. Try the day before, and then I would get the result, and it wouldn't be good, and I'd be like, well, I tried.
Totally. You know what? And I think this happens to so many people because like even way into adulthood, like leave math class out, like what does it mean to actually try? Right? Like
Yeah.
what does that even mean? And I actually think we do students a disservice because we don't actually show them what trying means. We're just kind of like, try harder. And then like it's kind of up to you to interpret what that means.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden you try. So you start, you try before the exam and you're studying hard and you don't get the result you want. And then you're like, well, I tried and it still isn't working. Therefore, I can't do it. Is that what was happening?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. So when we met, and I just like loved you right away because again, you really didn't have the vibe of like, ugh, you were like, yep, I'm determined. I'm here. Like, I want to do it. From that moment, we only had one session together, but I just feel like we shared a really magical moment.
Me too. Me too.
I want to know what happened moving on because then for everyone to know who's listening in Ontario, you have to take grade 10 math. So fine. But then grade 11, you're allowed to pick from a range of maths.
Yeah.
Right. And you actually chose to pick the middle level of math. I want to know about that moment. Like what shifted for you when you what made you go, well, if everyone else can do it, why can't I? Like, did something happen? What was it?
I remember when we got our math exam marks back from like the previous year and I saw that like everyone was like complaining about their 80s and I like had just gotten a 55 and I was like, I'm so annoyed with this. I think it was like just like I'm so mad. And it just like turned into like anger and I was like, no, like I want to just like tell my teachers and all like these people that are saying like, no, like, oh, well, you passed. Like that was what it is. It was always like, well, you passed. You passed. You don't have to retake it. You didn't fail. And I was like, that's really like the level that we're on. Like, I wish you would expect more from me. Like, I want you to expect more from me. It was like there was like babying me.
Okay, you've just hit on such like Taylor. Oh my God, I know you want to go into psychology, but imagine you end up becoming a teacher because I have to say, you just hit on one of the biggest things we're all talking about in math education. Okay, so research has shown that when you expect more from students, they actually often reach that level. Right? Like we think we're doing students a favor by being like, don't worry, like just pass, like make it, but it actually does. You're kind of like personifying this by being like, that actually wasn't helpful.
No, it was not at all.
It wasn't at all.
No.
I want everyone to hear this. It was not helpful for her.
Not helpful. It was like nice. They didn't yell at me or anything, but I was like, you're telling these people, like I'm watching you at the desk with them, telling them that like they could have done better. It's like with me, you're just saying like, Taylor, that's really like, no, it's not actually that great. Like I know I could have done better. Like I know, and you didn't push me. Like I want you to push me and say like, no, like sit here until you like, we'll sit together and we'll do it.
Oh my God. I feel
and
like
not just like,
I'm getting emotional actually. Because it's so important for us to all hear this. And again, teachers are well-meaning. Like we're trying to be helpful, but to actually hear from a student like that isn't helpful. And that for a long time made me feel like I wasn't capable and there was nothing I could even do.
Mm-hmm.
Once you made that decision, what changed? Like, is that when you changed schools?
I changed schools when I realized I was like, this isn't really, I feel like I was just the same. Like nothing was changing. Like my study habits, the way I would walk into class, just get it done. Just get it done. Not interested, just get it over with, just figure it out, like baseline. And then when I changed schools, I guess it was like that period of time, I also just like matured. And then when I went to a school where it was more independent, like I didn't have 8 kids in my class, I was like, the teacher doesn't really care if you pass or you fail, but they'll focus on the kids who really care. And so I wanted to be one that like they really cared about. So I would like go in and ask questions and stuff And that really made me realize like, okay, like they'll help me if I like help myself.
Huh. I
Yeah.
just want everyone to know, by the way, Taylor went to the same school that I failed grade 11 at. Which is actually
Yes, that one.
is so funny because this is you just finished grade 11 and this was the year that was like so great for you. But she's right, by the way.
We're all different.
We're all different in that school. That is the vibe at that school. It's like
Yeah.
if you like, they're not, it's a, class sizes are big. I consider them, they think of themselves as like a very academic school. And they're like,
Yeah.
if you're not serious about academics, like we don't have time for you. So it's
Yeah.
interesting that as a student, you were like savvy to that and you were like, okay, so I need to play the game a bit and ask
Like,
questions.
this is how it is. This is how it is.
Yeah.
Like, let's.
And what happened? So you're asking questions. Did you you start understanding stuff more? Like what occurred?
I just like tried to like flip my narrative is like just get it done. And I tried to be like actually interested in what they were saying. And I almost convinced myself like one of my teachers was a mom. And I was like, she's just a mom. Like she's like normal. Like she's just talking to me. Like or like she's just gonna go home and make dinner. I was like, I just have to like realize like you're not just doing this like to hate us. Like you really want us to understand and like I want to be interested in what you have to say.
This is
and she
next
when
level.
she saw I was interested, she would come up to me and she'd be like checking in on me and stuff. And I was like, that feels good. Knowing I was like engaged with her, she would come and help me, but not the kids in the back who are on their phones.
Right. Okay, This is wild. This is actually like so fascinating. You're kind of like teachers. They're just like us, like celebs.
Yeah.
They're
They're just like us.
But what you're kind of actually talking about is like humanizing education, right? Like being like, this is a human being.
Yeah.
Really teaching if what we're hoping for the most is that it would be a connection between two people.
Yeah.
You're connecting, you're communicating. And this kind of leads me to, because during this time you were doing tutoring with one of our tutors, right? And you found someone, who was it?
Alex.
It was Alex. Okay, that's what I thought.
She's great.
Did that help shift what was going on for you mathematically?
Yes. It was like I'd leave the class and I had like it was not a great setting. Like the class like got to a point where like she wouldn't even say hi to us in the room. It was like she'd give us a paper and she'd like try it and then we take it up. It was no relationship at all. It was just like two people. And when I would go to my tutor, she'd just make it seem like she was just like a normal girl. She'd make it seem like it was just like so much more simple than it had to be. She'd explain it in like normal words. And I like was like, oh, like I stopped staring at math. Like it was so hard. And I was like, I have someone here that's just like really good at math, but she's explaining it to me in a way that's interesting. And it started to make me not as scared of math anymore. And I was like, I just have to like approach it differently. And it took time, but like having someone, I said to her at the beginning, my first thing I said was like, I'm just trying to like really just like get interested in this because I was so into like English and all that stuff. And I was like, there has to be a way to be interested in this. And she like gave me that reason.
You know what's so funny is like I don't think I've ever realized, this is really making me reflect on my own journey and the way you're talking. I'm like, it's like we shared a brain many decades apart, because I remember when the same thing happened to me when I went to my new school. So I actually left the school you're at now and I went to my new school. We had like opposite, like switcheroo. I remember too being like, you know what, Vanessa, like what if you just sat and like listened to what the teacher was saying and didn't like make it a whole thing? Like I remember giving myself that talk and being like, okay, so like she's just gonna say some words and like just like everyone else, I can sit and listen and like, and that mindset piece really shifted things. But I do think it's really rare, not to be like, oh my God, we're both so special. But I do think it's kind of like a really hard thing to come to as like, how old are you, 17?
16.
You're 16. Okay, like to be like, I'm going to like take this on, this thing I've been told my whole life. I'm going to try and break that. Like that's like a huge deal. So like congratulate, like that's just,
Thank you.
Yeah, I don't even know. Like, I really think that's a big deal. I'm also like, as teachers, we're always like, we know that students think math is fucking boring because a lot of it is. And a lot of it is like, why am I even learning this? When you said to Alex, I'm really trying to get interested in this. And she was like, okay. And you're saying she made math interesting. What did she do to make math interesting? Like, is there anything you can think of?
It was like little things that you wouldn't even think, but like they were consistent. Like, if I came with 7 pages of notes, she would be like, okay, just like take one. And then we just like highlight it and she'd like read, I'd like watch her read it. And she's like, not being like, she's like, oh, no, yeah,
By
it's
the way,
fine. Like,
Taylor
it's,
just paused and scratched her head as that's
yeah,
what apparently she's not being like head scratch.
she's not being like this.
Okay, go on.
Really descriptive. She would just like looked at it and I just like watched her because I'm used to looking at teachers just like when they look at it and they're like, but she just like looked at it. She was like, oh, she's like, no, like it's all good. Like, no worries. It's very easy. And then she'd like pull it up on the board with like colored markers and she'd be like, just like watch me do it. Don't take notes. And we'll just like talk about it. Like, she'd be like, imagine you just went here and you just like were this far away from this. Like, that's the distance that we're talking about. And then I'd have like a picture in my head and I was like, oh, I can imagine what that Ferris wheel looks like. Oh, I'm standing here. And she's like, yeah, now you just have to like measure and like, it's fine. We'll just like use these colors to do that. And then I'd copy it down after. It was like, she was like a magician. Like, that's how I felt at the beginning. I was like, I don't know how you, it's crazy. I've had so many tutors and I've only had a few that like are really stand out to me. So it really matters, I think, having someone that you can like be on the same wavelength as well.
So often when we think of like, we need to make math interesting, we're thinking we've got to do like something crazy, like take them to a carnival and put them on a Ferris wheel. And you're like, no, what I'm hearing, and tell me if I'm wrong, you're kind of like, she just spoke to me like a normal person.
Yeah.
Right? Like it was the same question, but she was just like talking. And I've always found that actually that makes one of the biggest differences is like, it almost feels like when you go to math class, you're suddenly expected to like act a different way and speak in ways you wouldn't normally speak. And like, you're all like disconnected from what's going on and can't like access, like we are all intelligent people who like think and reason all the time, right? Like we do that. But when you're expected to like speak in words you wouldn't normally speak in a certain cadence and don't talk to anyone. And like, it's like, you can't use your thinking center then.
Yeah. I was like, this is not working for me.
Yeah. Okay, so one of the things she did was just like speak to you in normal language, kind of translate the stuff. Was there anything else you can think of she did that really like made that difference?
It also, it wasn't just like she was like a tutor. It's also like, I don't know, if I came 5 minutes early, if I stayed 5 minutes late, like we'd also just like talk about life. Like it wasn't just like walking into the studio, getting the work done, thank you, goodbye. It was like I had a relationship with her as well. So it was like enough that I knew she wasn't like my friend or anything, but it wasn't the same as like my math teacher where it was just like handed me the work, gave me the mark, and that was it. Like it was like, I want to be able to talk to you and tell you exactly what I don't understand. Like I don't feel embarrassed to say to her, like, I really actually don't understand anything you just said. But with my teacher, it's like you have to pretend it's like, oh, I don't want her to like judge me or be like, I explained it 4 times already. It's like, no, I just need you to like say it like normal. Like sometimes I talk to ChatGPT and I'm like, just talk to me like it's a 16-year-old girl who has no idea what this is.
Yes.
And it's like immediately I get it. And then that reiterates during my test. I'm like, it's like when Alex said this, and then it like triggers something in my head and I'm like, oh, all I have to do is measure that to that.
And like everything you're saying is corroborated by research. I don't know if you know that, but it's like, it's really interesting. All these things you're saying, it's like that emotional piece, often our memory is more associated with emotions, right? Like so those emotions can trigger memories, and negative emotions like trigger negative memories, or they prevent us from remembering things. So like there's a lot of cool stuff that you're saying that I'm like, oh my God, this is such a practical application of what we like kind of know to be true, but you're saying it in a way that's like so useful for teachers to hear. So thank you. And I think one thing that keeps coming up is you're like, there needs to be this connection. I need to feel like, you're exactly what you said. You're like, I don't need to feel like we're best friends, but I need to feel like safe enough to tell you that I don't understand something.
Yeah.
What do you think in a classroom, in your experience, like thinking about your previous teachers or classroom experiences, has not made you feel that way?
I think like this year, for example, when I had like questions where I didn't understand, it was like my teacher, and I bet this is very rare with teachers because I've never had experience before. She just like got to a point where she was just like, I could tell she was annoyed, and she was just like, and she'd get up and she'd stand at my desk though and like hover over like that. God. And I was like, it really helps if you like pull up a chair and we sit next to each other.
Oh my God.
And you reach over with your pencil and you just do that. But like with different colors, it's like little things. And I'm like, if you just sit there and you look at me and you're like, don't worry, like it's fine. Like we're gonna figure it out. Almost like she acts a little bit like she's not like so much smarter than me. It's like even at like, you know what I mean? Like,
yes.
Like act like we're both confused and we'll get through it together.
I'm literally freaking. I'm losing my mind. This is, you just don't even understand how, like, I want to be like building thinking classrooms. You're going to be like, what are you talking about? But there's so much out there now where we're like, again, like my whole thing is math therapy and my whole book is about these little things you can do because we're human beings. We can tell if someone's standing up and hovering above us, it sends a very specific message.
Yeah.
Right. So like, yeah, it might be a little thing, but that little thing is a huge thing. And guess what? Because it's such a little thing, it's pretty simple to fix.
Yeah, exactly.
Like you're not asking for like 10 hours of after school time. You're like, could you just like get down to my level? Could you just like tell me it's going to be okay?
It's like when like there's a little kid and you're like talking to them, but you're so much taller than them. It's like everyone gets down on their level. Yeah. It's like, why did that have to change?
Yeah.
Like when you're hovering over me, it's like, I don't want you to leave. Just stay.
Yeah.
Because like, it's like, I feel like you're in a rush to leave. It's like, just sit down. Even if it's for 1 minute, it just makes me like not think, oh my God, she's annoyed. She wants to leave. It's like, I can actually focus on what you're saying for that 1 minute.
Oh my God, this is so good. Why do you think, like, you know, you kind of started at the beginning of this and you were like, you know, math class is this thing we all hate. Like we all are confused. Why do you think that is? Like, why is it? Like math above all other classes, why does it just suck for so many students?
I think it's like something that we all kind of have in our head. It's like math is hard.
Yeah.
Like it's kind of like, and then we almost sort of like believe that.
Is it hard?
Not when you get it.
Huh.
Like that's the biggest thing. It's like, it's not hard. It wasn't hard this year.
Right.
I think I only got it like really stressed out about it a few times. Like it was like if I did feel stressed out, I went and I talked about it with my tutor for an hour and then I left and I was like, it's fine. Like it was never that big of an issue until I figured out how I could fix it.
So why does everyone think it's hard, do you think?
I don't think it's being like taught the right way.
Yeah.
You put like these random numbers and all these things on the board and there's no context. It's just like a problem and you have to just like fix it, but there's no context. Everyone's just trying to solve something that's just like not being given the right way.
Mm-hmm. What was it like growing up with a mom who dislikes math so much? Did that affect you at all? I'm curious.
I think she was also just like at the beginning, like if all my teachers are like, you know, like it's not her like strong suit. I think she also was like, just pass.
Mm-hmm.
Like just pass. That also got into her. So then it was like not only at home, but at school. Like it was both. But then the second I started to do well, she did what my teachers didn't. She gave me like a higher expectation. She was like, you just got a 90 on this one quiz. Even though you got 50 on the others, that 190, like you can do it. Like it's not impossible. And so then ever since like those little things of like doing well, the standards were higher and she changed as I did, like when she saw results.
Okay. But like Taylor, this is such a crazy story because most people in your situation where your parents kind of well-meaningly are like, yeah, don't worry about it.
Yeah.
And your teachers are like, yeah, don't worry about it, would have given up.
I know.
Like it's so wild.
I think it's also just going to a new school and being surrounded by people like who actually cared.
Yeah.
Like seeing people in my class that were like getting it. I was like, oh, like I wanted, it was like almost like a little bit of jealousy. I was like, I want that. Like I want that. I felt jealous. Like it was just like a normal teenage feeling of jealousy, but I was like jealous that they were doing so well in math.
Okay.
So, and then they'd be like, oh, what'd you get on your quiz? And I was like 50. And they were like, oh, I got a 90. And I was like, they never asked me for help. Like, I was like, no, I want you to ask. Like, I want to be that.
Huh. Okay, this is actually leads to a question I wasn't going to ask, but I'm so curious. What's the vibe when it comes to like girls being good at math at your school? Is it like cool?
Yeah. There's a lot of girls that are actually really good at math, but I don't think that people would expect it. Like I see in the classroom, like if someone has a question, they automatically go to like the boy who's smarter at math, even though the girl has better marks. She's more like like I always notice I was like, girls, like all my friends are very smart, but they aren't in your face about it. But I feel like when a guy has good marks, he's like, yep, I just got a 90. Everyone look at it. Everyone look. But it's like the girl who has 100 is just like sitting there. She's just like subtle.
Why do you think that is? Why are the girls chill and humble, or do they not want people to know they have a good mark, or something else entirely?
I think they just don't need like the reassurance that like, I think they have it in themselves. They're just like, I don't need to like go and tell everybody so that I've got these good marks and stuff. Like they just do it. And then they just like get the highest mark at graduation. Like it was girls. I went to the graduation this year. The highest marks at the school were all girls.
I cannot believe your mom is cutting me off in 5 minutes. There's so much to discuss here. Okay, I'm really glad you just told me that, because I think we all need to hear this. This is interesting. I'm just going to leave it there. I'm not even going to say anything about it. I just think this is a very interesting point. I have to move on now because I'm getting cut off soon. I want to know if growing up believing that you could only just pass math and your teacher sort of not believing in you, did it affect you in other areas of your life or your sense of self-confidence or anything, or not really?
Yes, I can like remember like being in school and just like it kind of affected how I thought people would look at me. And it affected my confidence with school, like in all subjects. Even though I was good at like other things, I was just like, maybe I just don't want to just be bad at math. And I thought it was just like every time I looked at my homework, I was like, I don't get it. But I looked at it for like 10 seconds with no help. And I was like, I don't get it. Like, I just can't do it. Even sometimes I catch myself like, I can't. When that happens, I just like shut off. So it's just like when I don't get it, I'm just like, I can't do it. And then I just like wouldn't do it. It's just like a mind thing. I honestly believe.
Well,
it's all like everyone can do it.
You heard it here. Taylor says,
Yeah.
oh my God, Taylor, you're going to become a math teacher. I hope and pray. Honestly, I just think that'd be the best fucking plot twist, because really you're saying it's all in your head, and I want to like validate you, but also like counterpoint. First of all, you've had so many negative math experiences. That is not in your head. It's not in your head that teachers literally said to you, don't even worry about it. Like they basically said to you, we don't believe you can do it, so don't bother trying.
Yeah.
That's what it says when you tell a student, don't worry about it. You have other things you're good at. We are being well-meaning, but the message is clear, and you've said it. The message you got was, you don't even think I can do it. So that is not in your head. That's true, and that happened.
Mm-hmm.
The stuff that is in our head is negative self-talk, right? Like that idea of I can't. But again, you got that message from somewhere. You got that message, and now those voices have turned into your own voice. But what's cool is once it's in our head and it's not external, we can change it, right? Like things like you noticing, being like, okay, I'm saying I can't to myself. Like I can change that framework. Or like thoughts are not things. Like they're literally thoughts. So maybe they're not true. There is a lot we can do around it. But I think the thing you're really, really right about is, like, we call these things like limiting beliefs, right? Like things that we're just like, nope, like that's the thing I can't do. The cool thing is just about our brains and the fact that we have neural pathways that grow and change is we can rewire them. So just because you don't understand math today or you didn't last year, it doesn't mean you never can. And you're proving that, right? Like, but it's taken like I think it's crazy and incredible how reflective you've been and how able you've been to be like, okay, like just the way we're talking about this and you're reflecting on like what motivated you and what inspired you to keep trying, despite the fact that like you're getting the messages from basically every adult in your life that they don't believe in you. That is wild.
Yeah.
Like that's really wild. And now that you've kind of like discovered this superpower, let's say that you've always had, but now it's like coming out, does this change the way you feel about what you can do like in the world?
Yes. I feel more like capable of doing different things. Or when someone says like, oh, you can't do that, I'm just like, watch me. Like I can do that. I don't need you to tell me I can do it anymore, even though it would have been helpful when I was growing up to have somebody be like, no, you can. But it's like now, like I've kind of built it myself where I'm like, I want to do it just because you told me I can't do it. And I'm like, that reattaches to the fact that they always told me I couldn't. So it's like, I did it just because you told me not to. And like, that's an actual thing too.
Yeah, that's an actual thing too. I think, the haters and the doubt, like it's there to bring you down, but it actually fires you up to like prove someone wrong,
Yeah.
But I'm also like sorry that you've had to go through years of that because that doesn't really feel good. Not everyone would react that way. A lot of people would just be like, oh, I guess I can't do it then. And also that's a lot of work for you to do as a 16-year-old to have to like overcome all that. But look at you now, and that's amazing.
Thank you.
So tell us, you do not have to take math now. You are done. Or will you be taking math in grade 12?
I will be taking math next year.
Oh my God. Tell us more. Why? Which one? How?
I'm just like, all this work this year, I feel like I don't want it to go into nothing. Like I may as well just see if I can do even better next year, right?
And now, so in Ontario, you pick your top 6 courses to submit the grades to get into like university. Does the fact that you need a high grade, like is the whole grading thing something that gets to you, or you're not really worried about it?
I'm not really worried about it because I feel like I can I feel like it won't be an issue.
Okay.
Like, I feel like I can do it.
If you were going to speak directly to another student or someone listening to this podcast, there's a lot of adults who are listening to this podcast who are like, I'm just not a math person. I couldn't do it. What's one thing you would say to them? One piece of advice, like anything?
I think just change your perspective on it. Like, you don't have to think about it as like math. Like, you can like change your idea about it and you're still doing math, but it doesn't have to be so challenging and so scary. Just, yeah, like build a relationship with it almost.
My God, I love that. Build a relationship with it. And there are things you can do. If you're listening to this and you're so inspired by Taylor's story, which I am right now, I want you to go download Duolingo Math. They're not sponsoring us, but they should. But that is one way, like Taylor's saying, just like kind of low stakes, like just like start doing it and don't think of it as this big thing. Duolingo has this new thing where they've added math as a language you can learn. It's 3 minutes a day. It's like start super basic and you can just start doing it in a low stakes way. Build a relationship with it, a relationship where you're hanging out with it for 3 minutes a day and see what happens. So Taylor and I are inviting you to go build a relationship with math on your own terms.
Exactly.
Just see what happens.
Do it.
See it.
See what happens.
Taylor, you're so cool. Honestly, this is the best. I could talk to you forever. So often we are like, math feels pointless. A lot of the stuff you're learning feels pointless. But one thing that I think is so important is I think that math is a gateway where you learn things like perseverance and resilience and like problem solving, like how to solve a problem that really feels like you can't solve it. And you're kind of demonstrating that like those skills are what you have learned. And those skills are way more important than like the fucking quadratic equation. You're already showing you're taking those skills into the rest of your life. You're now like, what can't I do? Like, I'll prove you wrong.
Yeah, exactly.
So I think that's just amazing and so inspiring. I'm so glad we met. And I have to ask you 2 questions I always ask everyone on the podcast. Question number 1, if there's one thing you could change about the way math is taught in schools, what would it be? Pick one thing.
The teacher's way of approaching it better and not coming off as so scary about it.
Yeah.
And just making it seem like we're going to do it together.
Love.
We're going to get through this course together.
I love it. And number 2, what if someone's listening to this podcast and they're like, oh, that story was so inspiring, but I'm different because I'm just not a math person. What would you say?
Like, I think that anybody can be a math person if they really try. Like, you have to find the way that you can do it.
I love it.
And that's different for everyone.
You rock. Thank you so much. I cannot wait to watch you grow mathematically next year. Maybe you can pop in and like tutor some kids. Let's see what happens. Just a little mindset coach, you know?
Let's see. Exactly. Maybe.
Thanks, Taylor.
Thank you so much.
Bye. I still can't get over how much wisdom Taylor just like casually dropped. Like maybe the kids are all right and we really do have some hope for the future. Seriously, the fact that Taylor didn't give up on math or herself, even though she was basically set up to fail, is something I'm still processing. Like the system literally told her that math just wasn't her thing. She shouldn't bother trying too hard. Her friends just were naturally better than her. Like she should just basically give up any hope of getting anything above the bare minimum of passing. Like what kind of messaging is that for a kid? I have 2 major takeaways from this conversation. First, Taylor could have listened to all that messaging and she could have quite understandably just given up. But she didn't. She decided that if her friends could do it, so could she, and she was determined not to give up on math or herself. But the second takeaway is that she wouldn't have been able to turn things around without the right support. She needed the trust and safety to tell her teachers she didn't understand something without feeling she was like a burden or a nuisance. She needed her tutor to treat her like a real complex human, not just a cardboard box being rushed down an educational assembly line. And she needed her parents to be supportive and encouraging while celebrating the little wins and not putting unreasonable pressure on her. I could go on and on about what I loved about this episode, but you just listen to it and you don't need to hear from me anymore. I want to hear from you. Text the podcast by hitting the link in your show notes. Send me an email at vanessa@themathguru.ca or DM me on Instagram @themathguru. Links to all of those are in the episode description. Finally, make sure you're subscribed to the podcast feed because next week we are celebrating a truly shocking milestone, the 100th episode of Math Therapy. We're going to be reflecting on the wild ride we've been on since starting the show back in 2019 and talking about what lies ahead for Math Therapy now that we've moved to a weekly format. And of course, a reminder that Math Therapy is hosted by me, Vanessa Vicaria, produced and edited by David Kochberg, and the music you hear is by me and David's band, Goodnight Sunrise. So we're going to wrap up with the final 2 questions. Oh my God,
Okay.
is your mom sitting right next to you, like waiting for me to be finished? Oh my God, just glaring at me. Okay.
Wilbur, it's due at 3.
Okay.
She says it's due at 3.
Okay. Question number 1. If there was one thing you could change about the way math, oh my God, who's walking in the room now?
A dog.
Okay. If there's one thing you could change about the way math is taught in schools, what would it be?